Everyone, and welcome to another Live Now Playing. I'm Sophia Tong, and I'm joined by Chris Waters, and we're here to show you Gears of War 3 Beta. Excited?
I am. I've been playing this for a couple days now, and it's really fun.
Yes, it
I'm
is.
really enjoying it.
You can't really kind of get the whole gist of it until you look at it, so we should probably jump in, do a match, and you guys can check it out.
Yeah, so the beta is live now for like friends and family of Microsoft and media. We got hooked up, and we're going to be hooking you guys up later in the show. There's 3 game types.
Yes.
Team Deathmatch, Capture the Leader, and King of the Hill. So we're going to start off, jump into a Team Deathmatch, and start seeing some of the maps. I think there's about 4 different maps.
Yes.
And
Sounds good.
show you guys some of the new moves here in Gears of War 3.
And as a reminder, stay tuned. Probably like half an hour from now, we're actually going to give away beta codes. So you want to join the chat room, which is on the page, or follow us on Twitter at GameSpot, and we'll have a trivia question for you guys. And the first 5 people to answer on each will get a code. And you guys can jump in and play today.
Exciting. All right, so the first one I'm into here is a team deathmatch on the Thrash Ball map.
Ooh, before you get too detailed, we actually have a special guest joining us via Skype. So, Cliff Bleszinski from Epic Games is here via laptop, actually. He's right here. Hi, Cliff. Thanks for joining us.
He's there, I swear. Sophia's not just talking to...
He's waving. I see him waving, so he can probably hear me. Hey. So, Chris has just jumped into a team deathmatch.
Audio.
Audio?
We're working on some technical... working it out here, folks. Stay with us, and I'm waiting to spawn into the match here on Thrash Ball. We'll give you a good look at the overhead map behind us here. As you can see, it's sort of a symmetrical map. Takes place, you know, the Coltrane, big Thrash Ball player. This is on the Thrash Ball map. And
You're on the Locust side.
Yes, I am. And I'm going to do this thing.
Yeah, they're all symmetrical, actually.
Oh, okay. Got it.
All right. I'm going to try not to stand under this scoreboard.
You'll notice that there's a Jumbotron in the middle. That can be shot down usually after about 90 seconds of play.
Oh, 90 seconds.
Yeah, once it starts dangling like this, I actually got lucky and got 2 kills with it once, and that was pretty much the pinnacle of my beta play so far. I'm going to scurry under it so I don't get squished.
He's a wrestler.
Oh.
Not pretty.
Well, once again, Cliff, thanks for joining us. Hope you can see it okay. You can kind of comment on on Chris's skills.
So I'm using the Retro Lancer here.
I can see it a little bit there. It's been fun to watch everybody play. And I was keeping a very sharp time on that right now.
Oh, I bet. A lot of positive comments. I played the beta a little bit last night.
Turn it down, Frank, if you want. You can turn it down. It's a little
Ooh.
Ooh, they're down
Super
to 5.
high quality screen yet. Does he know how to use the retro charge?
I do. I really want to use it, but I've gotten burned a lot of times using it, so I'm trying to be careful here and not die shamefully.
It's tough.
With the bait out.
I know how to do the retro execution. There we go. That was brutal. And as you can see, I unlocked the urban camouflage. Even though it's a beta, folks, there's like a ton of ribbons and new skins and characters to unlock.
Good job.
Locust victory.
It's amazing how popular this games are, really. It's when you see a player with a flaming hammer burst in the match, you envy it and you want it, right? And it's the power of those kind of cosmetics that help drive that core loop of keeping the game sticky and keeping players coming back for more, as well as things like a consecutive match bonus, which is a sneaky way of saying, hey, if you keep playing, you'll get more XP and you'll level up even more. So it's our way to kind of keep you playing the game all night long and hopefully till the sun comes up.
Yeah, those incentives definitely keep you going. How many more matches until you unlock the gold one?
So the gold Lancer, I think I got about 80, a little 75 matches left until I can play with that one.
Very cool.
What are your favorite weapons so far, guys?
So far, I've been spending a lot of time with the Retro Lancer because even though I don't nail the charge all the time, when I do, it is so satisfying to watch the skewer go. I've also enjoyed the hammer burst because it's kind of nice to shoot from a little far away and not risk the chainsawing every time.
Yeah, it's fun to see Iron Sight burst also, right? It's one of those things that we tried it on every weapon. You're right, especially with the retro and the amount of clip, but it's one of the things that makes the hammer burst unique. It's the fact that you can kind of stick with it and see them.
Oh yeah, there are iron sights added to one of the weapons. That kind of changes things up a bit. Yeah.
Oh, you whiffed it. You guys having any luck with the sawed-off?
I wanted to try that last night, but I can never get close enough.
Oh!
I did get killed with one yesterday.
Freaking on top of them with it, and I actually, I was playing last night. I saw this one guy who vaulted over cover and mantle kicked two guys at the same time, which stuns them for like half a second, and then he shot them both with the sawed-off, and it was animated too.
Wow. Yeah, that mantle kick thing though is pretty handy. Especially when they're like gunning someone down and you just run over, hop over and just kick them in the face.
You have to be really careful with stunning players, because players who love to stay moving, players who are used to games where you're 60 mile an hour hovercraft, like a lot of first-person shooters, never want to stop. So we have picked the times that the player can actually cringe very, very carefully. There's a little bit of a cringe with the smoke grenade that is an upper body cringe, so you can keep moving. And then we actually de-stop you very briefly if you get hit very closely with the aim grenade, as well as with the mantle kick. Other than that, there's not a lot of stuns.
And people play Gears of War, and you have these big lumbering dudes, and there's a tendency to think it maybe moves at a little bit of a slower pace, but that is absolutely not the case in this beta. People are sprinting around, moving around the map incredibly fast. It is really fast-paced and very exciting as well.
So, is this... Say the road to hell is paved with good intentions, and we had gotten so hung up in the idea of a game where you kind of camp and pop and stop and kind of hang around and cover, that we found that the community is very polarized between players who love to roll around and shotgun, as well as players who like to hang back and use rifles. And we wanted to kind of cater to both crowds, so we pumped up the rifles a little bit. You have the retro, which is very useful medium to close range, has the cool bayonet attack. You have the hammer burst that you can zoom in and in the long range, you can rapid fire, active reload at rapid fire, that's really dangerous. As well as making the saw to the regular shot and go back to the Gears 1 speed, make it more consistent, as well as the sawed-off shotgun, which my favorite move with that, by the way, is to dive into cover, and if somebody here corner blind fire right as I get to cover, because you can get that stuck in the cover and spray them, and it's incredibly fun. So we want to get both types of players in this game, as well as the full game.
Yeah, there are definitely different ways to play. Do you like playing more closer range, Chris, or long range?
Well, I like to try to, but it doesn't always work out in my favor, as we've been seeing this match. I've definitely been victim to more than one nasher to the face.
Yeah, when you're not paying attention, suddenly it's like, what? Where did that come from?
But here we go, win. And so as you can see, the little awards popping up on the side of the screen, folks. You get ribbons galore, and it tracks your progress towards those in beta, accolades.
Bottom of the screen right there?
What was that?
I don't know, I didn't catch that. But
Was that you, River Dogs?
Yes.
Yeah.
Wow, that's a really sad score.
Not my best work, I'll say that.
It's hard to play live and talk at the same time. You're like trying to manage 3 conversations, but you're doing good. Trenches.
No, I'm not. All right, so now we're on to Trenches, which is another map. Now, Cliff, do you want to give us a little context with this one?
Yeah, this is one of my favorite ones. This takes place in the Locust Deadlands, which I don't want to spoil too much of the campaign, but this is kind of where a lot of the Locusts are right now in the world of sharing Gears 3. And it's a very dusty landscape. You'll notice we've allowed color to bleed through in a lot of the other maps, such as Old Town as well as Thrashball, but we still have some maps that kind of have that desaturated gray and brown as well. This is one of the browner maps. It's still beautiful though, and I think you'll find that it's a point symmetrical like all of our other maps, and a dust storm location again, just which suddenly changes the game. If you have kind of a hammer burst here, a bit of a longer range these guys. Suddenly you're going to find yourself switching to shotguns and kind of going through the guns, trying to find people. One thing that's important to note about this map, and certain things about the beta, we've already changed things internally here based upon our initial findings with the beta. This map, we actually are considering adding another passage from the beginning to kind of connect the middle of the maps, because we found people spawn camp a little bit in this map. So that's something we're keeping a sharp eye on, as well as weapon balance. So it's one of my favorites, though, regardless of that. The one shot is usually at the top, either that or the Mulcher. The one shot's the elephant gun that takes people out in one essentially shot, hence the name at a distance. And it has a really, really good zoom on it, but if anybody gets close to you, you're going to want to drop that thing and switch to close range combat. The dig is usually in the middle too, which is one of my favorite new weapons that digs underneath cover. And if somebody sees you coming with it, they'll avoid it easily, but if you get a group of people who are distracted in a melee, it's pretty killable.
I haven't had a chance to use a digger launcher yet. That would be interesting.
Let's see if we can get... Alright, so... What I've got here is what you saw there, folks, is the TACCOM.
TACCOM's a lot more useful.
Yeah, let's talk about that for a second.
There we go.
Yeah, so again, we wanted to make the game, we want to make the hardcore more happy with this product, but we also want to appeal to fresher, newer players and make the game a little bit easier to get into. The tooltips are more obvious. The players who are on your team have little carrots over their heads, so it's easier to tell who's on what side. We've also improved TACCOM to the point where you can really see where your buddies are. You can see where weapons spawn. It won't tell you if they're there or not, if you don't want to spoil too much of what the game is. As well as when you play Capture the Leader. If you're the leader and you hold TACCOM, you can actually see the enemies through walls, so you have a bit of a kind of meta game of avoiding the cloud of enemies trying to swarm at you and take you out as the leader and hold you as hostage for points.
It's just like seeing people like crowded together and just like punching each other.
You like the execution there?
Yeah, that was one of those new brutal finishers where, you know, you do it as a locust, you're ripping arms off and then just
Slapping them with
flailing.
it.
Oh, it's gory, but very satisfying.
Well, what's wound up happening, we have all these executions in the game, and we found that a lot of the hardcore players are always the path of least resistance, that they just want to get rid of the players as fast as possible. Put them back in the spawn queue, get rid of them. And we're like, you know, we have these great, brutal, awesome executions, so we're going to incentivize the players to get extra points for extra XP for doing these executions. So if it's a quick one, you get a little bit of XP. If it's a long one, you get a lot more points. And it's turning into a bit of a fun moment where at the end of the match, especially if you're on Locust, you can go grab the last guy who's down, tear off his arm, and beat him repeatedly with it, and see a little like +5, +5, +5, +5, as everyone else gathers around and proceeds to kick him as well. And when that's you, and you're that last COG guy who's you're holding out, hoping you can clutch the match, you get pretty upset, and you want to have vengeance on those people who humiliated you in front of everybody's watching as in the server.
Hey, so for everyone who's watching, I'm on the chat room now, so if you guys have any questions for Cliff or for us, you know, feel free to send those in and we'll try to answer them. Alright.
There's a mortar that also spawns near the center of the map on the platform there. It's a great kind of counter to the one shot, as well as the mulcher that spawn at the top, as well as the various enemies that spawn in the other parts of the map. One of the mechanics that we've added is the idea of spotting. If you see somebody target with left trigger, then right stick click, and it'll put a little icon over enemies' heads to kind of let your buddies know, hey, there's somebody over there. This is an extremely useful mechanic. It has a few other games before, but it's never been in a Gears game or a Gears universe. And one thing we like to do is if somebody has a sniper that you know is really good and you spot enemies, you can just lean over kind of pop their heads, or somebody has a mortar. I'm like, guys, I can't see anybody. You guys are my eyes. Give me a spot, then give me the approximate location of these guys, so I can now unload a big payload of mortar cells in their general direction and get a lot of great kills for that. A lot of our heavy weapons are extremely useful at medium to long range, but completely useless up close, because you're lugging this giant stack of metal around and you can't evade. You can get in the cover, but then it takes a second to kind of heft through thing.
Hey, Cliff.
On the cover, so you can keep people away at a distance. I found that when you check out the supermarket map, that's also pretty useful to get a buncher back there.
So we have a few questions coming in from the chat room, Cliff. I was wondering if you could answer. So, Scar Gamer's asking, how many modes are going to be in the final game? Is that something you can answer?
I don't really want to get into the actual specific number. I know with the beta we're shipping with 3 modes. We have Capture the Leader, we have the Team Deathmatch mode as well. The programs also going, of course, have Warzone and Execution as well as Wingman, Horde mode, Beast mode, as well as Capture the Ring mode, which is, so it's, I mean, there's a really good selection right there, and it's one of those things that you want to have a good selection for those to but if you have too many, then you wind up diversifying the playfield too much, so it winds up becoming very difficult to find a server when you go from public to private to ranked to all the different modes that you have. So it's one of those things you want to have a good selection, but not too many.
So we are giving away beta codes later. Are these codes international or are they US only?
Yeah, these are US only.
Okay. So just to clarify, so sorry guys for international, but...
And we're also going to be giving away codes on Twitter and back for anybody who uses the Gear 3 beta hashtag.
Okay. Gotcha.
I hear that Twitter thing's going to be big.
And my Dictate Great asking, so they want to know about the Limic Epic Edition. I know that's probably something you guys haven't announced yet, so... Can you comment on that at all?
Well, it's one of those things, as you're building up hype for a game, you want to have these beats that hit where you announce what this is, you tweet this, you have a press release, you have videos, teasers, things like that. We haven't announced what's going to be the Epic Edition yet. I know it's available on a lot of websites for pre-order and things like that, and gamers want to know what they're going to get before they put down that much damn money for something like that. I've seen the work in progress of some of the things that we're working on for it. I think it'll be really, really awesome, but unfortunately we're saving that bullet point for later in the summer to kind of get people excited. Maybe we'll do like a video of an unveiling or something like that at some point.
And Prol is asking, so what happens if two people charge at each other with the Retro Lancer?
I believe the answer is, depending on the angle, the person who's pointing straight usually wins, but if they're actually two at the same time, you can either get a random draw of that, or you can sometimes get a mutual kill. I actually haven't seen it that much in the wild. I do know that if somebody has the chainsaw and somebody has the retro, the chainsaw wins. It's a grandfather law, really.
Mutual kill, that'd be interesting to see.
That does happen a lot with the sawed-off.
Oh, I bet.
Oh, there it is. Ah, victory is mine.
There you go.
Well, I died horribly afterwards, but at least we got to see it happen to someone besides me.
Yeah, I mean, that's that risk reward right there. You can go, but it's going to take about a second and 3/4 to kind of get that kill. And you have to make that conscious decision if you're going to go for the retro.
Although I did,
One of my favorite
so the
things
way
to
I
do is
said,
if I see somebody reviving some, I quit, I chip both of them with the sawed-off, which is immensely satisfying.
So Cricket 2 is asking, like, these codes, if they're VIP beta codes or regular beta codes. These are just regular codes that you would get. You'd be able to play with the rest of us, so I don't see that there's any difference between...
Yeah, I mean, there are codes that are working for the beta, so you actually get a little bit of even super early access before Monday, the ones that go out today that are going out for promos. It's been great to kind of start off with Epic employees and then kind of spool it out a little bit to influencers and a little further to press and start going wider and wider and see the player pool kind of grow. Something I kind of wish we did for Gears of War too.
So Cell Dweller is asking, any new grenade types? Do you want to talk about the new grenades?
Yeah, we have the flame grenade, which is, in the right context, it's extremely useful, but it takes a little bit of skill to use. If you do a direct hit with it, it kills people immediately, but you can use it as an area of denial to kind of throw out a bunch of flame that explodes on the ground as kind of a Molotov cocktail style. We also tweak some of the other grenades, and smokes are extremely useful. It's one of those things that you start with a smoke, and you don't even realize how useful it can be. It makes people drop heavy weapons. It makes people who are playing Capture the Leader drop the leader. I believe it makes shields drop as well as stunning enemies for just kind of a brief second so that they can't fire. So if you can kind of throw smoke and kind of time it right with your shotgun, you can kind of pin somebody. They can still move, but they can't fire for just about half a second and take them out that way. So, you know, you can still tag them on the walls. You tag all the grenades on walls. I know it's hotly contested within the community, but keep in mind we have tweaks and delay time, so it's not always an instant kill. You go with frag, tag grenades on walls just to make it so that if you're not paying attention and you hear the beep, you will get jibbed. But if you hear the beep and you're a smart player, you can get away from it like most of the time.
So Real Killer 789 is asking if there are any rewards for people who have played Gears 1 and 2.
We were looking into that at some point. I believe we tweeted it, and we're not sure how much we're going to be able to do. If we're going to be able to do any of it at all. And if we want to chip in without any of those awards for Gears 1 and Gears 2 players, I apologize. It's one of those things that the way game development works is you always want to cram in all these things that you try and get. It's not always possible. We're looking into it, but fingers crossed, there's a chance it still may or may not happen. So I apologize if it doesn't, and if it does, great. Somebody's good at the mortar.
Now, just a second ago, these deep horns started blowing, and then sandstorm blew into town. So that's the trenches, sort of environmental change that happens during the match.
Yeah, the idea is to test it completely. One of our kind of driving mantras for when we make multiplayer maps, Jim Brown, who's our multiplayer lead, is very big on this philosophy that I'm a huge fan of, is saying it's the map with the whatever. Right? Like, we're not really big on saying it's the warehouse or it's the factory that manufactures sparks. Like, no, it's not like that. It's got to be the map in the football arena, the map that's in the trenches with the dust that comes in. It's got to be this, the map that has something to it that kind of creates the chickens, right? Something that has some sort of a hook, so you know which map you're talking about. It's one of the driving philosophies behind our map designs.
So Cliff, some people are wondering, for the people who get VIP codes today, do they get to unlock anything special for playing early? Or is it all the same for everyone across the beta?
I have absolutely no idea.
There's your answer,
I
folks.
do know that flaming handle bursts you only get with the bolts from Epic Edition code. Mm-hmm. But I don't think there's anything else special to the codes that go out today.
Okay.
I love this video feed on here. I look like I'm piping in from Antarctica at like some sort of base research station or something.
It's true. This is...
Like I'm being held as a hostage. Like, yes, my captors are treating me very great here at Epic. I miss my family. I love you all.
Meanwhile, Marcus is behind you.
Yeah, Mark's behind me. He's going to put a hood in my head.
They surround me with vaguely threatening images of large men, but other than that, it's fine.
I'm getting a lot of PC questions. It's something
I look like dust for breakfast.
Yeah, if you guys can keep your questions strictly on the beta, we can probably get those answered for you.
So now I'm firing up a capture the leader. It's back on the trenches. Give you folks some of that, but I jumped in just in time to lose the match. But one of the things I like about the beta is that it's filled out with bots that are actually pretty tough. They run around the battlefield confidently. They will take leaders.
Also, one of those things that are great for kind of practicing. I mean, it's one of those situations that if you're in the wild and you're playing kind of the non-ranked public modes and you just hop in and it's a couple people kicking around, a couple bots, if you just hang around for a few minutes, the server will eventually fill up. And then if somebody drops out and you do another round, a bot can take that place. It's kind of a temporary stopgap for getting towards a full server. But once you get the full head of steam, the bots really go away, and it's one of those things that they're kind of just great for initial practice and kicking around until you can get a full match and get a serious match going on. And then you become friends with those people, you can go into ranked, and you can have private matches.
Yeah, and playing as part of the friends and family beta definitely, you realize who the people playing are. It's epic. It's people who've been playing Gears of War for years and are very, very good. And yeah, there's definitely a big difference once the match starts.
It's been really funny to watch this cross-pollination right now, because you get Prodigy X, who's a pro gamer, playing Rick Malambri from Step Up 3D against Chuck, and you're like, what is going on here? This is crazy, and they're all loving it and having fun, and they're all good, which is really scary, actually.
Oh, you're playing as Anya now.
Yes, scored a nice Retro Lancer kill and then got too greedy with the mulcher.
It's one of those things. I was putting the girls in the game. There was the controversial thing that I think it was Totillo on Kotaku was talking about, where he was saying, were there girls in the game? Could they be chainsawed too? And it's like, yeah.
Yeah.
I guarantee if you were to take any female fan of viewers and say, no, sweetheart, you can't have you chainsawed like the boys, I guarantee they'd be way more offended than anybody who's upset by them getting chainsawed.
Hey, fair game, everybody. Everybody gets chainsawed here. I have another question about different weapons, skins for weapons, and can you comment on how many there are, just some examples?
I've lost count. Honestly, this would be the liquid metal and flaming ones, and the prisms, and the urban camo, and the ones with that are gold, the platinum, ones with the almond all over it. I mean, there's just a ton of them. It's one of those things that it's relatively easy for our art department to do, but once you see it on your back, once you see somebody running around with one, once you get killed with one, you're like, man, I want that sweet gun. How do I get it? And the beauty of it is when somebody drops it, you get to pick it up and use it for a little while, right? So it's one of those things that when we did the gold Lancers for Gears, and the Hammerverse for Gears 2, people were selling those codes on eBay for like $30. That's the power of the envy of cosmetic upgrades in a shooter. It's really something that is very, very useful to leverage to keep players playing a game.
That's crazy. Sell your gold Lancer for some money.
Oh, this isn't good.
Gotta watch your six.
I was too caught up in...
If you're crawling, it's happy to move around faster, but stay still. Happy to get back up.
Now, so I'm the leader and I've been captured. A B button prompt sort of came up. Does that... And now I'm not allowed to do it anymore. Is that sort of a shake loose or a vocalize?
It's kind of a wiggle button, so we'll kind of screw up the captor's aim. It's not really something that you can use eventually to break loose, although we're considering different things like maybe over time giving a little bit more damage to your captor, things like that. With these game types, you want them to be intimate, you want them to be fun, and you want them to be, the kind of game type that makes your palms sweat. But you don't want them going on for 20 minutes at a time. It's very, very frustrating. So you have to find what the right balances of difficulty to have good matches that pan out that are really, really enjoyable. This is the only way, as far as I know, to play as the Queen
Old Town.
I believe, which the Locust Queen, of course, is in there fighting Anya. When you see the Queen ripping off Anya's arm and beating him, I think it's kind of a fun.
Yeah, I noticed there was one of the medals you can unlock is play as a female character in 10 games.
Huh. So which one are you doing now, or which game type? Sorry.
Maybe I pick a little female symbol,
I am the leader, again.
Capture the leader,
In
okay.
Capture the Leader. And I'm going to go stand next to my buddies. They seem to be over here. Let's do that.
Are you actually the leader? So remember, if you hold left bumper, you can see the enemies.
Oh yeah. There you go.
Now, do I have any expanded tagging abilities, or is it just normal in terms of spotting bad guys?
We thought about this spotting with that, but we figured it would probably be a little bit too powerful. We found the leaders were able to kind of run the matches and make the matches go on too long once they had the ability to spot through walls. But when I found myself doing something left bumper and kind of just backtracking through the map and kind of continually avoiding the swarm of enemies and hiding from them, but at the same time they also have an in-world indicator to show them where I'm hiding at, so it's a really kind of a game of cat and mouse that happens.
Kill chicken.
Where'd it go?
So 390 is asking, are all the weapons included in the beta?
I love them. No, not all weapons are included in beta.
Okay.
Many of them are, but we still have to do out. My favorite thing to do in this map is to do the retro charge, and you don't even notice when you hit a chicken until you just hear the and you see the feathers and the blood go flying.
I did get a chicken at the end there. I'm not sure if you caught it. It definitely splattered and
it's funny to kind of think when you take a game and you want to polish it, like, your game isn't polished until you have, like, exploding foods or vegetables or poultry. Like, once you have the time that your artists have the chance to build that and your coders have the chance to code that in, that's a sign of a polished game. It sounds really absurd, but if you think about it, those are the little details that kind of take the game to the next level. Because if they have the time to do that, then they're having the time to polish the rest of the game, right?
yeah, exactly. Once you have time to put those little things in, you know you're doing well. So are you saying that there are going to be fruit that we can destroy later on?
I think it's mostly a vegicide kind of game, actually. It's not a fruiticide.
Can you chainsaw a chicken?
No, you can't chainsaw a chicken.
No chicken finishers?
Brutal executions.
Just trying to get it so you can no tag a chicken with that totally run off towards an enemy, but that wound up getting cut. I love doing the grenade bag tag, by the way, taking somebody hostage, and then if you have a grenade, you hit up on the D-pad, you send them towards your enemies. It's actually very useful with the smoke grenade, of course, is immensely useful with the...
Now, is that tag something you can do with every grenade type?
The flame grenades. Yeah.
Okay. And captured by Pookie Doodles.
Oh, Pokey Doodles.
People's absurd gamer tags never stay. There's somebody out there that actually has the gamer tag Cliff Bleszinski.
What? Really?
All the time. Are you this guy? And I'm like, no. And I'm like, think about contacting Microsoft and having them like get rid of it. But I think he's pretty good, so I'm like, hey, you know what? If he's out there representing, let's do it.
You're like, sure, he can play as me. That's fine.
If you suck, I'd have him change tag.
So for people who also wanted to get into the beta, they've also asked, like, are you guys giving out any more codes through Facebook or other means at this point? Or do they have to pre-order gears only? That's the only way to get in at this time.
You know, we're a sucker for giveaways, and so I think at about 1 o'clock today, if you watch my Twitter, Rod's Twitter, Will, Christmas Twitter, some of the Microsoft people, just keep an eye on the hashtag for Gears 3 Beta. And there'll be codes kind of coming out throughout the day. And you never know, there could be random other spots where they appear. Posting occasionally on random forums. My dog stole a code from me yesterday and posted it, which he was not allowed to have dinner last night for that as well.
Yes, and we will be giving codes away as well a little later. So yes, there are plenty of chances for you guys to get in. And so if people want to give you guys feedback regarding the beta, you mentioned over Twitter that as long as they have the hashtag on there, you guys are reading all the feedback?
For feedback, of course, the Twitter direct feed is always good at my Twitter. It's the real Cliffy B, Rod's Gears Viking. You can go to our Epic Games forums. That's forums.epicgames.com, Dana, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah, forums.epicgames.com. You guys are nice with forums. I mean, we put this out there because we want to keep feedback and the criticism to keep it constructive. If you're a douche, you will be banned from any venue. And we need this criticism. If you find a bug, put it up on YouTube. It's one of those things that you put out the data with enough time so we would have time to adjust. So you find these bugs, scratch them, and put out the most polished one to see what's ever produced.
Someone's asking you, Chris, if you have any more room on your friends list.
I don't think so. I think it's all full up. But send me a message. We'll see. Because I clean it out from time to time.
Maybe I'll squeeze you in.
But yeah, I turn notifications off. So if you guys are trying to message me or something, your name's not going to pop up. All right, so I'm now jumping into a King of the Hill match, the third game type that's live here in the beta.
Yeah, King of the Hill is a territory-based game type. There's rings that go around the map, and you control the ring by standing in it. Once you have the ring, you can exit the ring, but if somebody else touches it, then they break it, and then they can start taking over for their team. It's playing in our test lab has been very fun, but when I play this game type in the wild against people who really know what they're doing and they know how to play, it is pulse-pounding, and it's very, very intense. And it's one of those things that grenades become very useful in this mode, planted grenades as well. It's one of those things that when you capture that area, you want to hold it. It's not always the best thing to stand in the ring. You want to kind of surround it, kind of in tertiary areas, and kind of guard it that way. And always watch your six in these various respawning game types. So somebody can always sneak up behind you. That's what I kind of like about respawning game types, to be honest. Because occasionally you'll catch even the best player with their pants down, and they can run that bayonet through their chest and take them out. It's game of the life.
Did you just get an award for dying first in a round?
First in, first out.
Yep.
Wow, you get stuff for everything.
Well, it's one of those things that, I think there's Modern Warfare 2 is one of the first games to do that, where here's the deal, you suck this round, but here, have a cookie. And, it's been a very interesting positive trend in the industry to kind of figure out these things. It's just part of making a game tricky when you look at these consecutive rounds that you have an ATV player. And when you look at the calendar that we're putting in there, when you fire up the game, there's a new event in the calendar, you can select it and see that, yes, there will be a Ticker Tuesday with Triple XP next Tuesday. I think I'm going to attend that, and we can push notifications through that and kind of let players know what's coming so that they can continue to play the game as well as not trade the damn thing in.
Nice one there, Chris.
Thank you. Oh, come on, I want to
Look at that gun's really growing on me.
If you do a retro charge and you don't have enough speed, you will not fully steer the guy, but that's okay because you still hit them for melee, and then if you just fire your gun, you can down them pretty quickly that way.
Oh, okay.
One of the things about the retro use is very important, and it's just very important here, is knowing when to use what trigger and when not to, right? Because when you zoom in, you get more accuracy, and you have finer aiming, but at the same time, you really lose your peripheral vision. So the weapon like the retro lancer, when people are fairly close, you don't need to hold the trigger. You can just spray and keep the general center of the screen on, and you can do some pretty good damage.
Oh, where are your teammates?
Remember, headshots always do more damage too.
Shooting the digger launcher, apparently.
But in general, shots don't do more damage. This isn't bolt stone.
Aw.
So once I've captured the ring, I don't have to stay in it. I just have to defend it.
Yep.
That is going to be nice. Do not repeat.
Because the rings are often located in a fairly vulnerable position, right? And after filling the ring, it's really kind of stressful. So if you can kind of hold it and kind of watch the area around it, it's more dynamic, I believe, more fun. The pistols are very useful, by the way. The Gordon is the tankless pistol from the previous one. You see it burst. We've changed it to full auto. So if you're in a match where you expect to be picking up a lot of people, expecting to get a lot of meat bags, a lot of hostages, a lot of losers, you don't want to either get the bat pistol, the Gordon, or the Bullpup, which is a very powerful revolver that fires faster to get a perfect accuracy reload. Those are kind of like little medium-sized turrets to kind of lure you throughout the map, and you can get those. They're very useful when you get a hostage.
So Wookie Master is asking if the unlockables in the beta, if some of them will be carried over into the actual retail game. I know there are some that are exclusive.
Like the Golden Retro Lancer, as well as Thrashball as a whole, the way that you can unlock those is by playing the beta, as well as playing a certain amount of matches and getting kills with them. That's looking like the only way to get those characters. And when you see Thrashball Cole with the Golden Retro Lancer running around, he looks pretty darn cool. There's been some concern with the movies about some of these later characters and some concern over that. It's been one of those things that this is the first game in the series and we were establishing an IP. Fair enough, it might look a little weird to have a football guy running around or Cole looking like he's ready to go to the nightclub. But keep in mind that everything we've done is still within the world of Gears. It's still within the fiction of Gears. At some point before the world went to shit, Cole did play Thrashball. He did wear that uniform. He did also wear those clothes to go out, after a game and whatnot. So it's not like this Panda Bear Marcus running around the world. I thought that was pretty funny.
Is there any planned DLC for skins and characters and weapons?
To be announced.
To be announced.
Everybody always asks about the DLC before shift. They always do. And it's like, well, we haven't made any announcements in that department yet.
It's like, we're not going to talk about it before the game's out.
Yeah.
Wookie Monster 12. I didn't say the 12 and you're complaining.
This is the internet.
Please pronounce all numbers and letters as written. Are you sure one of those E's is not a 3?
It's like, I'm not Wookie 11, I'm Wookie 12. Get it right.
That was pretty impressive. Nice work.
So some people want you to get the hammer burst,
All right.
if you can.
Well,
And a lot of people say hi to
I can adjust
Cliff.
my spawn next time I die.
It's important to note that you can change your starting weapon loadout, of course, right? So before you go into the game, you can select either the Retro Lancer, the regular Lancer, or the Hammer Burst as your rifle weapon, or the sawed-off shotgun, or the regular Nasher shotgun. But you can also do that when you're dead. If you're in the spectator screen for like the 10 or so seconds that you have before you respawn, tap A and you'll get a little prompt that can light a cycle between weapons, which is something that we finally added in, which I've wanted for a while.
All right, let's do that. You guys want to see Hammer Burst? Check.
Show them
We'll
the iron
also
sights.
bust out the sawed-off shotgun. Oh, look at that flogging!
I know.
Oh, that is excessive.
It's always great to watch that while you're waiting to respawn.
It's funny because if somebody takes your body hostage and you respawn soon enough and they still have you as a bag and you go to chainsaw that guy, you can actually chainsaw yourself, which is very meta.
chainsaw yourself?
Well, it's a dead body, right? Once somebody takes you hostage, you're dead, you go to the spawn queue, and they're carrying your body around. If they hang out too long
Oh,
enough,
okay.
you kill your own shell on yourself. It's like Time Cop or something.
So Cell Dweller is asking how many different unique kills are there? I'm guessing like the different executions. There's one tied to each weapon, correct?
Yeah, it's I don't know the exact number, but there's generally one attached to each weapon. They're all pretty fun and pretty brutal. And some of the simpler ones, just taking a hammer versus beating somebody in the head with it is really visceral, really fun to do. But I also like the face points, which is the default one you have to the cog. It's important to note, by the way, that we've changed the button mapping a little bit. X is how you pick people up for a hostage now. You just tap it. If you hold X, that's how you swap weapons. Because other players, when it was on A, were accidentally doing rolls and having a hard time picking up E-bags versus picking up weapons, so that's what helps that, as well as executions that lead to Y. So if somebody's down and you tap Y, you do the traditional code stomp, but if you hold Y, you do the long execution. And then you can keep hitting Y and repeatedly shooting people with the response or hitting them with the arm with the arm.
Cool. And someone's asking about the iron sights. You push down or to initiate it?
Yeah, so you pull the trigger to sort of zoom in your aim, and then, yeah, you just click one of the sticks to right stick to zoom in, because left stick is still that spotting mechanic. Which, let's do that. Boom, spotted. Uh-oh, don't want to stand near that.
So another question, are people stunned when you shoot them and they have their chainsaw wrapped?
I'm fairly certain the majority of these stuns have been massaged out of the game. We found that with the combination of stopping power and with how powerful the weapons are, that if you get that close and you're able to chainsaw somebody, you could have just jigged them with a shotgun and rolled through them. So it's one of those things, one, make sure that the Lancer is our lightsaber, and we want to make sure that it's still used. That said, stopping power still remains in the game, and only happens from the front. So if somebody's shooting at you, and they try and just roll and rush into you, they will be stopped and slowed down a little bit if they're trying to directly rush you, which is encouraging flanking and getting around people six. Yeah, that distance for the sawed-off isn't going to work. You basically have to be touching them.
You really have to be right up close and personal, right?
Yep. You have to be smelling their deodorant. You have to invade their personal space.
Yeah, I was about to say, some of these dudes looks like you'd smell them from hammer burst range.
You know, one of the things I love about our franchise is the fact that, we get some crap for our story, and, we've always said it's a summer blockbuster, it's a Michael Bay type movie, but people love these characters. They really grow invested and involved with them. Carrie Travis has done an outstanding job fleshing about the books. And when players on you and you pick up a locus, it's just like, dude, you stink. Or, Cole says some of the crazy stuff he says. They gotta quit giving us all these toys when you pick up the fun. It kind of makes you giggle in the midst of a very intense match, and it really adds a lot of character and gives you another reason to play as these different characters and unlock them, because they're fixing something that people just love so much that they're willing to get tied to their body.
So Cliff, LazyBones18 wants to know, how many hours have you spent playing the beta so far?
I don't know what the actual hour count is. I'm about level 13 right now. We found that once you get past level 8 or 9, the curve for actually leveling up gets very, very steep. And so I'm playing every night for a couple hours, 3 hours sometimes, and it's one of those things that on top of everything else I have going on, I want to make more time for it, because I have the very good problem of starting and the game that we made. Normally when you make a game and you sit there and you go home, you really don't want to play it because you've played the hell out of it. But I haven't had this kind of feeling with a game we've shipped with multiplayer since Unreal Tournament and Unreal Tournament 2004, as far as when it's darn near done, wanting to still play it recreationally, which I think is a very, very promising and engaging sign. Oh, hit the fire alarm, hit the fire alarm.
Where's that at? I'm missing it.
Right in the wall right there.
Oh, that red thing?
To your left. It's on the wall. Right there. My lag is making it very hard to tell you.
The delay. Which left?
It's near the mulcher.
Oh, that mulcher that guy is shredding me with?
The one that he took.
Yeah, so I've heard the fire alarm before. Is that just... All right, let me try to get in there. But that's sort of the environmental thing here on this... what's this map called?
It's just a
Concourse?
gag, honestly.
Huh?
I mean, the gag with this map is that you're actually playing in a supermarket, so you can shout things like clean up on all five when you see somebody with your shotgun. But there's just a lot of details we've been able to put in with the extra time that we have here. There's a couple of shelves that if you take cover on will kind of collapse over in one part of the map, and it only happens in this one map. There's the little fire alarm which is hidden, and we're really trying to pack the game with all sorts of those little touches, because without fail, whenever you go online, after 30 seconds of the first round, somebody pulls the damn fire alarm, and then you have to hear that damn clock on for 10 seconds. But you only do it once a match, so it's one of those few little things that we'd like to put in.
The fire alarm's on the wall to the right.
To the right. So inside the little ring area? Oh. That was not a good match for me. All right. Well, hopefully we can respawn and then check it out. My team...
I love how this has become not about winning the match or the round or getting the most kills. It's about pulling the damn fire alarm, which just brings it all back to elementary school.
It's important to have goals, you know?
So you managed to go through all three matches?
Details.
Or all three types?
We've seen all three game types now. Let us know if there's something else you folks want to see, a specific type you want revisited.
Yeah, let me know. Chat room, tell me which match type you guys want to watch.
Now we're back into Old Town. I'll keep my eye out for chickens, but is there any other environmental stuff we should try to highlight here?
This one's more about the chickens and the pumpkins.
Pumpkins.
And it's important to know when you play this map, one of the things we learned a couple years ago when we released a map of rainy maps that came out, it's fun to have the occasional dark, the occasional rainy map. But by and large, when you play a game like this, you're playing it often for 2, 3, 4 hours in a row, multiple nights in a row, and it's one of those things that games are about escapism. And when you look at character visibility and you look at tangible locations, honestly, a fairly well-lit town is actually a really good location, right? Like, one of the things about the Locust Underground that I loved the look of it, but at the same time it was kind of tiring to be in, because you felt like you were running around the whole time, and just psychologically as a human being, you don't want to be buried. And so having these well-lit maps where you can see the enemies, where you're not getting Seattle depression, is actually a very, very good thing to have in the game.
Yes, sunlight is good, virtually and in real life.
If your game has a ship with one of those little lamps that you need to combat seasonal affective disorder, then you might want to look into that.
So Gears map's been giving people seasonal affective disorder. It is nice though. You make a good point. It's very the sun still shines. It's not you're not like happy to be here because there's all sorts of monsters trying to kill you. But it's nice to play in a sort of vibrant map.
I mean, people love to look at Gears and be like, "That's the gray brown game," but it's like more than ever, there's more color has been able to bleed through in this game,
and not just red
locations. And it's one of those things that we're about variety, right? We have some maps, like there's a map called Overpass that's kind of a burnt on old freeway that kind of has that gray pillar look of Gears 1, and then we have maps that Mercy that you'll see that kind of has that like beautiful kind of Spanish fishing village look to it, where the plants are nice and green and shiny, and a little bit of that kind of saturated look that's crept in the world. And I think players seem to dig it. We're okay with it, and shedding a little bit of that reputation of the desaturated simulation.
So Cliff, I know
that
you
grass
have
is actually green.
So I know you have a busy schedule. Do you have to get out of there soon? We love having you here.
I gotta get back to Twitter to give away some codes in a minute.
Okay, so
I'm freaking starving.
Well, you go eat and give away codes. We're actually giving away codes as well. So I want to thank you so much again for joining us. And
thanks for having me. And my codes are better than your codes.
They're the same codes, Cliff. No way. All right, thank you. Everyone says bye, and everyone appreciates that you're here. Thank you.
Bye, guys.
Thanks, Cliff.
Bye. All right, so I bet you guys want to play now that we've watched Chris play for the last half hour. So we are giving away 10 codes, 5 via the chat room. So everyone who's in chat, get ready to start typing, and then 5 via Twitter. So the question I have for you guys for the chat room answers The question is, so there are two beta exclusive unlockables that it will carry over to retail on September 20th. What are they? Now, if you have the answer, you can type it in. Jody and Cynthia are ready to give out those codes immediately once you guys, the first 5 people that get it right.
Immediately?
Yeah, you guys can join in and play right now. Look for Chris, I suggest.
Hey, yeah, that's a good idea.
So I see people already having the answer, so looks like you're gonna have some people joining you in a little bit.
Excellent. The more the merrier. And by I mean the more unexperienced the merrier, specifically. Uh-oh.
So which
No
match
time
type
for
do you
you
like
chicken.
so far?
I gotta say I am a little partial to the team deathmatch, but this King of the Hill is growing on me.
Yeah. I kind of like this too. I mean, Team Deathmatch is nice and hectic, but this one there just seems to be like a lot of collaboration, moving around.
Yeah, and I like it when there are points of interest on the map that are generated independently of the action. Like it's the firefight was happening way down by the seaside, but I sprinted up here to try to get a drop on the locust for this capture point, and that worked out pretty well. My team is now getting points. Punch him! Punch him more! That was bad punching. Oh yeah. Thank you, Coltrane.
Yeah, so congrats to the people who got the codes, and as Cliff mentioned earlier, he's giving away codes as well, and we're also giving away codes on Twitter, so still have a chance to get in.
So do we have winners for that first question?
Yes, we do. I saw a lot of people give their correct answers.
I'm going back to the retro Lancer. That thing is too fun.
So how much longer do you want to keep playing?
Do
be here all day.
Yes, I definitely could be. How are people doing? Do we have questions? Are we giving stuff away? What's the...
Some people asked for like Team Deathmatch. That was another mode that they wanted to look at again.
Okay, we can take a visit back over to the TDM once this match wraps up, which... Actually, this is a pretty close match, which is kind of cool. So... Yeah, we could do that. What's the giveaway status? We got the one question.
Yes.
Are we giving them all away on that one question?
We gave away 5. So there's
Nice.
another 5 giveaways for Twitter. So I know Jody and Cynthia are handling that. So follow at GameSpot to find out more.
So get on them tweets. And like Cliff was saying, Epic and Cliff they're doing giveaways on Twitter as well. So.
Yes, the real Cliffy B is Cliff's Twitter, and then Gears Viking is Rod Ferguson. If you guys want to follow them, they're always giving away stuff. So
even if you're not, you don't think you're the Twitter type, oh yeah. If you're the free stuff type, then Twitter's a good place to be.
yes, who doesn't love free stuff? Man, now I can't wait until the campaign. Or when the game ships.
Yeah, I'm interested to see how these environments work their way into the campaign. I mean, like being in an intact store, this lovely seaside village with all sorts of fruit you can shoot. Okay, someone's shooting me. I gotta stop shooting fruit now. Oh god.
Shooting the fruit and chickens. Someone wants to see a sniper rifle.
Okay, I will try to go pick up some stuff on the map. Let's see, where's sniper rifle's up
Overhead
by
map.
the bell tower. It looks like that's where I'm going to be spawning. So
That works.
yes, you see that ghost of a sniper rifle?
That's a
the
big,
one.
beefy sniper rifle.
That's the one that I'm not picking up because one of my teammates has it. Overtime, ring drains faster. What if I go get this? Flamethrower. Oh, where'd you go, flamethrower?
Oh, yeah, I was killed by flamethrower last night. That was fun.
Super fun. Roast chicken! Yep, that's what that was. Oh, burn, baby, burn. Uh-oh.
Yeah. Whoa. Wait, what weapon do you have now?
It's the roast chicken weapon.
Oh, here we go. Rotisserie chicken.
This is actually flame broiled. Rotisserie takes a little longer. And no, I will not stop with the bad chicken roasting puns. Sorry.
We do have a user here named Chicken Feed that was asking about chickens earlier.
What else do they want to know? You can kill them. It's gruesome.
So which map do you like right now?
I think this is definitely one of my favorites. Oh, come here. It's execution time. Punch, punch. Super punch! I don't know if it's actually called a super punch, but come on. She punched his head and it exploded. If that ain't super, I don't know what is. Uh-oh. I don't think that guy sees me.
He doesn't. Sneak up. Do a little sneak attack. Oh.
Yeehaw.
There you go.
Go Gears. So yeah, here we get a good look at Anya holding a gun that is bigger than her torso because she's
got
a badass like that.
Yeah. She's not totally ripped like the other dudes.
What does she have on her arm? Is that like a barcode tattoo?
Looks like it.
I don't know. Let's see. Those guys aren't even coming down here. Come on, don't you know it's King of the Hill? I suppose I should go up
They're like,
there.
come here. Come to us.
Out of the way, Coltrane. I gotta shoot people with the pistol.
Have you picked up the incendiary grenades yet?
Yeah, I was throwing some in that last map, the one that's in the store, with the fire alarm that we didn't get to pull. Mm-hmm. I was slinging some. They didn't. The fire was not as satisfying as the flamethrower, which I think is, kind of makes sense. This is a gun devoted to flames. That's just like one grenade. Hey, guess what? Hey, guess what? You're on fire. And now we're gonna punch you. All it takes is 2 punches to soften up that locust head.
Do you like doing the long executions, or do you just want to give a few punches?
No, yeah, long executions. Even, oh gosh, oh no.
That way, when they're waiting to respawn,
I have a feeling
they
I'm
can
gonna
watch
get long
you.
executed right now. Oh, that's
there you
my
go.
own arm.
And you have to watch it.
Oh, over and over. What is that, like 7 times? Man, that was brutal. It's hard out there for a gear, and that is the truth. Oh, hello. So we're in overtime now, which means that these things are disappearing. Oh yeah, this is my favorite.
Do it.
Stab inside, slice across the back. Dive back into the ring. Oh yeah.
Yeah, for variety, just execute people with different weapons. I do like this map. I haven't had a chance to really take it in.
It's got this hillside too looming above it. It's kind of a nice touch. I got you, buddy. Where's the new ring? Oh, it's right where they are. Man. Uh-oh, that didn't work out so good. Yeah, so the Lancer charge is like a roadie run, where you sort of lock into it. You have very little maneuverability. I think it feels a little bit less maneuverable than a roadie run.
Yeah, at least roadie run, you can kind of like move around now. But
this is a good idea.
Yeah, you kind of have to sneak up on them and then get enough room to charge up.
Let's do this one again. Uh-oh.
Oh, watch out.
Oh, the peril of wanting to be flashy and brutal. But it's worth it. All right, we just need to... All right, we're about to win. So...
Almost there.
Victory.
Yay. Getting tired yet?
Tired of playing Gears of War 3 beta? No. Not really, but I do understand that, we've been playing for a while now. And, if you think... time to come to an end. We've pretty much showed off all the maps.
Yeah, so we've given away code, so you guys can actually, go online and get started.
I'll just take a look through I'll show you guys briefly the medals and ribbons that you can
Okay, let's
earn.
start.
We'll take a look there, and then we'll bring it to a close. So, this is what the interface looks like here. Stats and awards. You go here, boom, you have your overall total stuff. My kill-death ratio is still a little bit below 1, not too proud of that, but 47 executions, I like it. Then you move on to ribbons, and like boom, here we go.
That's a ton of ribbons.
Yes, kill your last killer. You know, it's familiar stuff. You know, fewest deaths, most deaths. Like really a lot of them. But they have these cool little designs, as you can see. Most headshot deaths in a match. Yeah, they definitely reward both sides of your performance.
So you don't have to be good. It's fine. I got tons of ribbons last night for completely sucking.
And then there's one where you can, you know, kill 25 opponents without dying. Godlike. Yeah, that's not one that I have tallied as of yet. And then you have medals here, which are, you know, win 25 matches. And this one I've actually got the first level of match winner. But then, you know, like you see the amount of stars that are accumulating to the next level, 100, and then who knows what's beyond that, 1,000? Gosh, that would be a lot. But that's the kind of thing Cliff was talking about in terms of, you know, giving you these things to reinforce your play. And some of these will actually unlock. Like I had to get 10 Lancer charge kills in order to unlock that brutal Lancer execution, the retro Lancer one with the slicing, I think. Yeah, and so there we go. You know, this is the first stage of the beta. Folks who played Bulletstorm are going to get it unlocked shortly. And
early access, and then the rest of you guys will join in until, I think, mid-May. So have fun. Thanks for watching, and that was Gears of War 3 beta.
All right.